Hey guys, welcome back to Sparkmanhomestead. Here is your bonus video for Wednesday. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Krista. I actually normally do not put videos out on Wednesday. I normally post my videos on Sunday mornings, but as I explained in last Sunday's video, I was in the middle of making a apple scrap jelly with my discounted Amish apples. And I had full intentions of making this delicious jelly using the scraps. Anyways, it did not turn out at all, but it turned out into something even better, something that I totally did not expect. I've never made this item before, and now I might start making it because it is amazing. So I'm going to show you that amazing, happy little mistake on a bonus video this week. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and here it is. So we're going to get started on making our product. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is because I want you to be as surprised as I was when I discovered what I was actually making. I really live by the philosophy of zero waste. I believe that you can use every part of the food. I think it is such a huge waste of money to be throwing food out. Now, I know that these are just peelings and cores, but still we can reuse them to make delicious products with. So I am such a firm believer on zero waste in my kitchen. So we're going to start the project off by taking our leftover skins and cores. Now those skins were clean. I did wash the apples before I peeled them. And we're going to put them into a heavy bottom stock pot, and we're going to fill that stock pot up with water. We're going to boil it for approximately 20 to 25 minutes. I think I actually ended up forgetting about mine, and it boiled for about 45 minutes, which is good because you can see by the color of that water, it is infused with such a good apple flavor in it. So we're going to strain out all of our scraps. I ran into a little bit of a problem because my strainer was not the same size as my bowl. All of my bowls that fit that strainer were in use, so I had to improvise. Now, because I was improvising, I did get a little bit of the peelings in the stuff that I was straining out, so I just wanted to double strain it, so that's what I'm doing right now. So once I got the product strained, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out and see how much liquid I have. You need to make sure that you know what your starting liquid is when you're adding your sweetener. It is super important in this recipe because we are going to be adding half a cup of sugar per cup of liquid. I have made simple syrup, and simple syrup, you do the exact same process as this, but you add 1 cup of sugar per 1 cup of liquid. So at least we're only doing half a cup for this one. So I had 8 cups of liquid, so I am going to add 4 cups of sugar to this. Just using an evaporated cane juice for this, but brown sugar would have been amazing to do in this recipe, especially with what our end result was. So I'm going to get this sugar dissolved, and then I am going to bring this to a boil. We're at a boil now, and I need to have this boil to, I believe it's 220. We want to boil it to a gel state. We're not using a pectin in this because apples have a natural pectin in them, and so we do not need to have a pectin with this. So we need to get it to the gelling point, which is 220 degrees. So I don't think it's there because it just started to boil. We'll double check though. We're at 210, so we just need to come up another 10 degrees, but it's looking really watery right now. Hopefully we'll get maybe 3 jars. I mean, it's just scraps anyway, so it's nice. It's nice to have something out of the scraps. Okay, guess what we did? We accidentally overboiled our syrup. We boiled this thing to almost softball stage. It never got to the point of gelling up. It is now a thick corn syrup consistency, which is way too thick. I accidentally dropped a little bit on my countertop and ran my finger through it, and it is thick. And when it cools, it gets to a softball stage, but it is delicious. So we cannot can this anymore as a jelly because it is no longer a jelly. It is almost a candy right now. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna pivot. We are going to try to make some caramel. So I'm gonna try to make like an apple caramel with this. Went online and just kind of typed in, I overboiled my simple syrup and now I have it at softball stage. What can I do with it? And a couple of things said you can make caramel. So we're gonna make some caramel sauce. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We already kind of ruined it right now, so let's just experiment and see Maybe we'll make the most delicious apple caramel sauce ever. Experiment time. So I have a stick of butter. The internet, and when I say internet, I mean AI. AI suggested that you put 2 tablespoons of butter per cup of sugar that you have. So I have 4 cups of sugar in here. So we're gonna put a stick of butter in. I took this off the heat because it was gonna go to hardball stage if I didn't do that. So I'm gonna turn it back on to like a medium high, and I'm gonna put my butter in here, and we are gonna melt this butter. I'm trying to get the butter to lay side. There we go. We're gonna melt this butter in here. And then once that butter is melted, we're gonna add a cup of heavy cream to this. It's said to do a 1/4 cup of cream or to 1/2 cup of cream per cup of sugar. So again, we have 4 cups of sugar in there. So we're gonna start with 1 cup of heavy cream. This cream is actually almost expired, so I'm really happy to actually get it used. See how this is really, really thickening up already? Like, it is, maybe it's at hardball stage. I don't know. It's not jelly though, I can tell you that much. It's just so delicious. I'm wondering if maybe we could potentially make these into like caramel candies. I don't know. I'll do a little bit more research, but it is so good. This is an amazing candy. I'm gonna bring the temperature down a little bit lower because I don't want it to get like hardball stage. I'm just trying to melt this stick of butter in here. Okay, I think that's melted. Look at the beautiful golden color. Oh my goodness, this may be the best thing that I've made ever. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a whisk, and we're gonna whisk in this cream, and we're gonna do it slowly. Oh my gosh, it smells amazing. Look at it. Oh, so good. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is we might make caramels. So I need to pour this into a buttered dish. Need to get this dish buttered up quickly, and I'm gonna use a lot of butter because I do not want these to stick. You could probably use parchment paper as well. Let's pour it into this buttered dish. You could do this on a cookie sheet also. Probably should have used a bigger butter dish. Oh well, we'll have thick candies. Oh, you know what we forgot to add was salt. Okay, we'll put a little bit of salt on the top of it, and we'll make these like a salted apple caramel. I am 100% feeling like I need to use this phrase in this situation. This is without a doubt what you would call a happy little mistake. This is amazing. We just made sea salt apple caramels. Do we put salt on it now? Let's see what happens if we put some salt on it. Okay, maybe we'll just sprinkle a tad bit of salt on it now so that it can kind of infuse in it. Once these are like halfway cooled, we will put a little bit of salt on it. I'm just going to put these somewhere. I don't want to put this in my fridge because this pan is really, really hot. We'll let those cool for maybe about 24 hours, and then we will get them wrapped up. I will come back and show you guys what they look like if they actually did turn out to be like a nice solid candy, or if that will turn out to be more like a caramel sauce that we can like pour over top of like anything that you would put caramel sauce on. You could even, ideas are now just coming to me. You could even take an apple and dip an apple in that and coat it, and you could, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that right now. I'm gonna make my own candy apple. We're gonna try just one apple and see how that works. This is an ambrosia apple, so I'm gonna wash it really good. We're gonna line this cookie sheet with some parchment paper. You know what, let's do 2 apples in case they turn out. Steven might want one. Okay, I'm gonna dry the apple good. This is definitely a high sugar treat because this is not healthy. So I'm gonna use a chopstick. Try to take the stems out. That one's not gonna come out. Poke the top of the apple. Okay, here we go. Experiment time. Totally unplanned. Let's just run this apple through the caramel. You might have to do a couple coats of this. I'm gonna actually let the apple maybe sit in here for a minute just to get some of it on it. And as it cools, I'll just spoon a little bit more on so that we can get a nice thick layer of this on it. It's been about 10 minutes. So we'll put another layer on them. It's also pretty hot in my house because I've had the oven on doing the canning. So this is probably not setting up as quickly. I could put this in the fridge to speed up the process. We might do that. I'm gonna put down one of these things. We are gonna leave this in here for about 5 minutes and then we'll come back and get some more caramel on them. Let's take these out. It's already starting to harden up a little bit. Hey, oh no, we dropped the spoon. Yeah, this is definitely gonna have to cool down a lot in the fridge. Put our apple there. Probably could have boiled this just a touch bit more to make it a little bit more softball, but that's okay. I don't know if these are gonna turn out so much. It's kind of all falling off, but we'll put them in the fridge and see. And then we're gonna put the rest of this also in the fridge. I think it's just gonna be like a caramel sauce, and we might be able to put this in the freezer. I don't know if we can it, but we can definitely put it in the freezer. It's fine if we get a nice caramel sauce. Okay, so it's been a couple of days and this caramel is like a caramel sauce. It definitely did not harden to the candy stage that I wanted. I wanted like a soft, chewy, almost like toffee, like you could pull it apart. It's more like a caramel sauce. If I would have boiled this, I would say maybe for like 10 more minutes at the bubbly state that it was at, it probably would have gone to that softball stage, which is what I would have needed to have made candies with it, like that chewy caramel or the chewy caramel, however you say it. We're perfectly fine with this being a caramel sauce. This is delicious. I actually had some apples today and dipped my apples in this. It's not a mistake. It turned out amazing. So what we're gonna do, since you cannot safely can caramel sauce because it has the butter and the milk in it, we're just gonna put it in some half-pint jars and we're going to freeze it. It is perfectly safe to freeze. You just don't want to obviously fill the jar too much because it will expand when it freezes. So I'm probably only going to fill them to about there. And then that way it has room to expand and it won't break the jar. If you're worried about it breaking the jar when freezing, just put them in plastic containers. I just don't have plastic. I use glass for everything. I am going to use some reusable plastic lids though. That I do have in plastic. That way I don't waste canning lids. These are our apples that we did. So the apples are stuck to the parchment. You can see the consistency of this. Because this is really thick now, we can cover them and it will probably stay without it dripping to the bottom like it did right here. I also realized when I was editing this video, I was mentioning a lot softball stage and hardball stage. So what that is, okay, so you see how it says hard and soft right there? That's all I'm referring to. So what that means is when it gets to a softball stage, it gets to that texture that I was describing, like a chewy candy. That would technically be like softball. Then hardball is when it is more crunchier, and then you get the hard crack where it's like you could break the candy in half. It's all just different temperatures that you need to get it to. So we probably were around like the 250 mark to get the caramel sauce. It definitely wasn't the 220 gel that we needed it at. It's very thick, but it's not thick enough that I can roll it into a candy. I think our apple is stuck in here. Okay, now we gotta try to get the apple up because the chopstick keeps falling out. There we go. That is going to be one insane sugar hit. Wish I had something like I could stick it in so it would stay up like this, but I don't. I'm going to get my hands wet and try to maybe manipulate some of this a little bit more. I got another piece of parchment. I'm going to spray the parchment with some avocado oil, and that way the apple does not stick. And I'm gonna wet my hands because it works way better to have wet hands when you have wet hands, you can work the caramel and it's good. Or the caramel, whatever you call it. This would be fun too if you dipped it in like chocolate chips or sprinkles or something. But you can see how it's just all dripping off. Like it's just not where it needs to be to do candy apples. So we'll just eat these like this. So we're gonna get our jars, and I need to get, I guess the spoon will be fine. I'm gonna just do this with my hands. It's easier. Put it in the jars. This is a mess. If I really wanted to, I could probably put this mixture back on the stove top and just boil it a little bit more and bring it to that stage that I would need it to make the candies. But I'm honestly just done with this. So we're just gonna do it that way. And see, I have that much room in it, so it does have a little bit of room to expand. And so we'll just put a lid on it and then put these in the freezer. I have a warm cloth. I'm just gonna wipe the jars because I've made an absolute disaster with them. So I got 1 for the fridge right now, and we have 3 to go into the freezer for later on. One thing that this would be delicious on would be an apple cake or like a poke cake. So you would make an apple cake, take a chopstick and put a whole bunch of holes on top of it, and then pour this caramel sauce over top of it. That would be delicious because it is an apple flavored caramel sauce. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little bonus midweek video. It was so cool how I turned that bale around and made a delicious sauce with it. I know that you definitely can make caramel sauce. I just have never done it. I've always been very intimidated by it. So this was just a very good, happy little mistake. So I'm loving it. I think next year when I have my apple scraps, I'm gonna do this again, but I'm going to boil it a little bit longer so that I can actually make the candies with it, because I feel like apple caramel candies would just be amazing. I definitely now have a new fall favorite treat to make. So my little mistake turned into something that I am probably now going to make every single year. Love it. So thanks guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.